Well, hello and welcome to a Qlik Spotlight. Now, this is a slightly different format. Now, both me and Tom Ricks got together and thought, well, what can we do that isn't as boring as a long email that we send out and everyone has to trawl through? So we thought it'd be a much better idea if we put this together into a video. So this will be something hopefully better for you to consume. Nice short video, nice snappy answers, which you can start. And we're going to be doing that on position management. So good morning, Tom,
Good
and
morning,
welcome
John.
to this one. And so, first question, let's get straight into it. Let's not mess around. What is position management?
It's a good question, John. Thank you. Position management is the relationship between the positions, the employees, and the organizational structure of Qlik in Workday. A position is the space in Workday that contains all the details about the role that exists within the organization. And on top of that, we would attach an employee into that position. So
Hmm.
at a base level, it essentially is the organizational structure that we work within here at Qlik.
Okay, so there is obviously going to be some change,
Mhm.
and what will that mean to people leaders when you actually implement this?
Sure. So the change that we're going to implement is because position management offers us an opportunity to integrate our two main HR systems, Workday and JobVite. So on the one side, position management will enable us to open new vacancies within the Workday environment and run an integration that then feeds that information directly into JobVite on a real-time basis. That will save a lot of time for the recruiters to get into JobVite and start opening positions. It also means that at the other end of the process, we can run an integration that then feeds candidate information directly back into Workday, eliminating basically the manual gap that exists between the two systems. The change for the leadership teams is going to be very minimal, I hope.
Right.
We've distilled that down to essentially an update in the way that you're going to request the position be opened, which we're going to transition simply from a Word document into an online form, which will be available to you via Qlik Central. Aside from that, the system changes and the system updates are going to be largely invisible to the people leaders. However, it's going to create efficiencies behind the scenes that we hope is going to then enable us to do a number of things later down the line.
So the whole approval process,
Mhm.
is that going to change?
No, the approval process will be exactly the same. So we
Mm.
will receive the request to open a position. As I say, that will happen in Workday and then transition through into JobVite, at which point
Mm.
the JobVite approval process will kick in as it does today. And just to reiterate that, that runs through the manager's manager, and then finally the finance business partner or controller. Um,
Okay.
so from that perspective, yeah, it's the same as today. The recruitment team will require all the approvals before they can then move forward, open and advertise for the position that needs to be opened.
So obviously this has had involved a lot of work and is affecting quite a lot of systems, but obviously that will be invisible, as you said, to the person who's going in there and doing
Mhm.
that. So when are we looking to go live then?
So given the change from an external perspective is fairly minimal, and you're
Mm.
right, an awful lot of work has gone into this process.
Mm.
We're actually going to cut over on the 1st of November. Um, be assured though that whatever positions we have open today will remain completely unaffected. We will see those through to either being filled or closed through the end of the year.
Right.
As we get new requests and as we go into 2019, of course, more and more positions are going to arrive into JobVite via the position management process, which means that at the beginning of the year, we should be fairly much 100% of our vacancies into this new process. Um, and given the automations are happening in the culture and talent space rather than the people
Yeah.
leader space, we're hoping that that's, as I say, minimal disruption for everybody within the recruiting areas and people leaders who have open positions.
Yeah. So like any implementation like this, so barring any issues or any bugs or anything like that coming up, we're looking at a November for the for it to go live. Okay,
Exactly.
fantastic. So I presume we're not just implementing the system for the sake of, Tom wakes up in the morning and says, I'd like to implement a new system. So what are the benefits of doing this?
So I think at a very Base level, it's actually going to be easier for a manager to request an open position. What we're going to do with the online form is provide a set amount of information that the manager is going to be able to choose from pick lists and whatever else. So we're beginning to get to a point of self-service for the manager population, and I think that's a great thing.
Hmm.
The other thing that is a really big step forward will be that because Workday is the originator for the positions that we're going to be opening, which transfer into requisitions or vacancies in JobVite, we're actually creating a single source of truth for all headcount reporting, whether that's headcount with an employee attached or headcount that's an open vacancy. This is going to greatly enhance the reporting structures and procedures that we go through with finance on regular
Hmm.
cadence, like the monthly reporting, like the year-end reporting, and keeping a real focus on our headcount as we go into 2019, because one report from Workday will then be able to provide a solution for every position within the business, whether it be vacant or filled. The other thing with that is that for the first time, actually, Qlik's going to be able to produce accurate org charts, including, of
Hmm.
course, the vacant positions within people's organizations. And that,
And that's
again,
something people have been asking, haven't they, for a long time, is the org chart
they have
part of it.
exactly. So no, it wasn't a Tom Ricks whim one morning to go ahead with this. There are some very real benefits, not least of which,
Hmm.
from our own culture and talent perspective, minimizing the manual gap between our two main HR systems. That we record all of
Yeah.
our employee and candidate details in.
Okay. That sounds excellent, Tom. And I know even from my point of view, I can see lots of real pluses for that. So hopefully everyone watching this, listening to this, will have had some questions answered. But I'm sure they won't all be answered by this. So how can we get more information for people?
So I would suggest, if you've got questions coming out of this, or as you go through the process, your recruiting process will remain unchanged. Once the requisition
Hmm.
gets to JobVite, it's business as usual. If you do have questions, please don't hesitate to be in contact either with myself, with any of the members of the recruiting team, or the systems and people analytics team. And you can reach those guys via the Qlik Central portal.
Fantastic. Well, there's going to be more of these as we go on and get towards November. There'll be a cadence of communications, and so keep your eye out for those. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and that's the first update.
Thank you very much, John.